I'm a college student from a small town trying to survive in the city. To save money, I rented a cheap room in a narrow alley on the outskirts of the city. The boarding house had 10 rooms. Mine was room 6, right next to room 7, the only one that always stayed shut. Mrs. Keller, the landlady, a kind, quiet woman in her 60s, once told me, "Room 7 has been rented for years, but the man inside keeps to himself. Best not to bother him." I didn't think much of it until one night, while studying around 1 a.m., I heard a knocking sound. Thump, thump, from the wall that connected to room 7. At first I thought it was rats, but the sound came every 5 seconds, for 10 straight minutes. Then silence. It happened again the next night, and again. On the third night, I decided to knock back. 3 times, thump, thump, thump. No reply, but then I heard whispering, faint, like someone talking to themselves. I pressed my ear against the wall and caught a phrase, "Don't call, don't say my name." Chills ran down my spine. The next morning, I told Mrs. Keller. She paused for a long moment and said softly, maybe he's having one of his episodes again." She wouldn't explain more. That night I waited. Around 11 p.m., I saw the door to room 7 open slightly. A pale hand reached out and placed a trash bag outside, then quickly shut the door. The hand was thin, bony, with long, dark fingernails. But what terrified me was the silver ring on the finger, the exact same one Mrs. Keller wore every day. The next morning, I asked her about it. She looked down at her hand and turned pale. I lost it last week," she whispered. That's when I told her everything. After a long silence, she finally spoke. "The man in room 7 is my husband, Dr. Edward Keller. He was once a psychiatrist, but after our only daughter died in an accident, he lost his mind. He's locked himself in that room for 5 years." Her voice trembled. "But lately, I feel like that's no longer him." That night I stayed up again. At 2 a.m., I heard it. The creak of a door. For the first time ever, the door to room 7 opened. I peeked through the crack of my own door and saw a tall, thin man with long, unkempt hair covering his face. He slowly stepped out of room 7 and walked straight toward my room. I locked the door, heart pounding. His footsteps stopped right outside. I could hear heavy breathing, then a whisper. You're my child, aren't you?" I sat frozen until dawn. When morning came, room 7 was empty. Gone. Mrs. Keller called the police. They broke in. The room was bare, just a dusty bed, a photo lying on the floor, and the silver ring. The photo showed a family of 3, a father, a mother, and a little girl. But here's the thing. The girl in the photo was me.